What was that? What? What's that sound? Where? It's aliens and they're living in your town. Damn. They have arrived. What? They're all around. So many aliens living in your town. Are you scared of aliens? Well, you should.
What's up, weirdos out there in Weirdo Land? It is great to see everybody. First and foremost, let's give a shout out to Vicky. She's not going to be here tonight. She is sick. Let's start with the Vicky chant. Vicky. Vicky.
Vicky. Vicky.
Yeah, again, Zoom, not great for the chanting, but we will try to get through this Weird Whatever podcast as a team. I never like having anybody out. But Beckett, these are the ingredients for the cake tonight. We got a baker.
I love it. Ready for the oven.
I hope Vicky's at least listening. And if she is, go ahead and get in that chat room, Vicky. You could be our YouTube chat room, I don't know, correspondent, Denny's.
Yeah, I think she went and got her second vaccination, and I think it knocked her on her butt. So that's why she's not here tonight. So we'll see. I sent the link just in case.
Where are you on your vaccination? Are you done?
Yeah, I got my I had to leave early last Wednesday because I had to go get my second one. I got it Thursday. I was kind of knocked out. The same thing everyone's kind of been saying, like chills, aches, and then the day after I was good to go, like I never had anything. So
you got that BVE? Big Vax energy?
Yeah, that big Vax. That's right. That's what I have now.
Because that could have gone another way with the V, right?
I was like, yeah.
Oh, I forgot about the important V for a lady.
That's what I thought.
You're right. Power of the vagina. All right. Well, everybody and their mother is emailing me and texting me, and they want to talk about what the hell was in that sky. Birdney, if you don't mind, let's go ahead and grab some of that footage. Did you hear about this, Beckett? That fireball that everyone's talking about?
No, I'm totally out of it.
Really? Denny's, why don't you tell the people what happened?
One of the door cams caught footage of what looked like a meteorite coming, but what was throwing people off was about halfway down. It exploded into a giant burst. In fact, I think it's popping up right here.
Yeah,
but it was caught on multiple cameras.
Yeah, if you're playing along at home right now, you can see on the screen here, coming right down right there. That would horrify me driving down the highway and seeing that.
For sure, yep.
What part of Florida?
I think
this is pretty close to us, man.
Yeah, it is. I believe it's South Florida somewhere. I forget where.
Yeah, well, they're saying people could see it from the Bahamas. You could see it from all over.
Wow.
And what I love is all of these door cams capturing all of this stuff. Look at that. I mean, that's great footage right there.
Wow. That looks dangerous.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So my question to the audience, what's the craziest thing you've seen in the sky? You guys ever see anything weird that you cannot explain in the sky? Let's start with a birdney. Nothing?
Remember when I sent that clip that we played around this time last year where I was getting out of my car and it was too slow to be a plane because, you see lights going across the sky and it was just moving slow. And I didn't know what it was. And we did it for like UFO footage, but I still have no idea what that was.
Yeah, my father and my brother claim to have seen something back in the 80s. And keep in mind, before drones, before the internet, before that big boom, Denny's, and they swear they saw something over the ocean flying with a couple balls around it and doing this weird kind of odd turn and then just boom, shooting straight up into space. Wasn't a star, wasn't a meteorite. It was some kind of technology. Back in the 80s, Beckett, what the shit is that thing?
Sounds like a dick and balls.
You just had to go there.
I did put 18 plus.
It's 18.
I don't know, man.
You just made it not rocket.
I've seen some crazy stuff too. It is cool. It's actually a good point, Jay Bird. The fact that we have all these Ring cameras now and all this other stuff and cell phone cameras, you feel like there may not be more activity, but there definitely, in theory, should be a lot more capturing of activity.
We've talked about it before. Electricity was always there.
Right.
You just had to be harnessed. Now we're seeing stuff that we had no idea was going on. That's what I love about the cameras. We're seeing shit that wasn't supposed to be seen.
Yeah, true.
Keep that in mind when you're doing a little bit of sex in front of that window, Beckett.
Close the blinds.
18 plus. But yeah, if anybody does have a crazy story or any footage of anything in the sky, send it to us. I do know some cat that listens to the show sent us some footage that we're reviewing. Vicky's looking at it. I'm looking at it. So keep sending that stuff into us. We are going to feature that. If you've sent something in and we haven't played it yet, don't get discouraged. It is on deck. That's something we want to definitely delve into. It's also Happy National Look in the Sky Day, Denny's.
Oh, yes. That's why I figured you brought up that last topic.
Well,
representing the day.
I'm a little topical bitch.
I think that's like very nice because we're always constantly looking down. It's nice to just look up every once in a while.
You probably see some stuff.
Very, very poignant, Brittany. I like that. Very
Nice.
good. I think we should delve into what we like to call
Denny's
Random
Facts.
That was our best chant in unison. So if you are listening for the first time, Denny's gives us a series of factoids. Vicky is out, who is our normal educator, but Brittany is also an educator. Didn't know if you knew that, Beckett. She's a teacher to boot.
I did know that. Love it.
She's going to grade our sweet Denny's with each factoid. A, if it's awesome. F, if it's terrible. Denny's, the floor is yours.
Well, I kept it light for you guys since we're minus the Vicky, but this one I figure you get a kick out of. A single strand of spaghetti is individually referred to as spaghetto. Spaghetti is the plural word of the Italian word. So next time you're ordering, if you feel like it, you could order just one spaghetto.
Spaghetto?
That's the singular. We actually refer to it as spaghetti because you get a plate of spaghetti.
I mean,
But
brother,
it's a bunch of spaghetto.
brother, I love that. I'd give it an A+, but then again, I'm your best friend and I smoke weed with you. So I don't know what to tell you.
I'll give it a B+.
Why is that, Brittany?
Because was it mind blowing? No. Was it a nice little surprise? Yeah.
Damn, I thought Vicky was cold.
Ah.
All these educators, man.
Damn,
Didn't blow
man.
me away. It
I
was
hear
a nice
ya.
surprise though. I'll give it a B+.
You know what's gonna happen? Brittany's gonna get an email next week, and it's gonna defend Denny's because we all have our lovers, we all have our haters, and anytime anyone gives Denny's a hard time, this one woman sends this long manifesto. Why do you give Denny's a hard time? He's a gentle soul. He's peaceful.
Fight me? That's what I say.
What do you say?
Fight me.
I love it. I love the fight, Brittany.
This is just a nice tip for you guys. Flossing, which I know Bird is a big advocate of, flossing your teeth improves your memory. Research suggests that keeping your gums healthy and avoiding gum disease leads to the prevention of what's called stiff blood vessels. And preventing stiff blood vessels, especially close to your brain, prevents memory issues. So floss and remember.
To piggyback on that, and I don't know if you knew this or not, Becky, but flossing's big with the whole heart game.
Oh yeah, because the plaque gets bad. It's bad for you.
What would you say to if you had to sing a song to a girl that had a lot of plaque? What kind of song would you sing, Becky?
Some kind of bye song. Bye by NSYNC.
I do
Baby got plaque.
Plaque.
Yeah,
There
baby
you
got
go.
plaque. Yeah.
I do back that plaque up.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
That's good. No, I'm a big fan of oral irrigation. I actually have one of those weird contraptions in my shower that connects to the shower head that does the whole oral irrigation because my grandma's a dental hygienist, so she lectures me anytime my gums bleed when she flosses during her cleaning.
So
Irrigation.
Brittany, I see you make a face, Brittany, when he talks about terms like an oral irrigation. Why do you wince when Beckett says things like that?
It just makes me cringe because I'm like, why can't you just say a water pick or something? You have to be so bourgeoisie. Who has that in their shower?
Because Waterpik is Kleenex or Xerox. That's just a brand that you're perpetuating over all these other people just trying to compete in this world.
So is it just the technical term is water irrigation?
Oral irrigation.
Oral irrigation. I'll have to look that up.
Plus, you always are going to want to date someone that orally irrigates because they'll never have a cleaner situation. I still do the old school floss also as well, but I'm telling you, it's the right way to do it.
So
Yeah.
I'm not sure about this oral irrigation, but I do know about that oral stimulation. Am I right, Denny's?
Oh, yeah. And I feel like this is a good point to throw in a PSA about ankle health because it's all about blood flow, really. And you got to stretch your ankles and stretch your extremities. You got to keep the blood flowing.
But
And
my
you got to,
man loves to do a PSA about ankle health, Beckett. He loves talking. We'll be at a party. Everyone's drinking, having a good time. Denny's comes in with some ankle health factoids.
I mean,
It's just-
yeah.
all your blood's got to circulate through. We'll move on to the next one here. I won't bore you too much.
It's an important
I
piece
give
of the
that one
body.
a C because I already knew it.
A
But it's
C
probably
note,
from flossing. That's how you remembered it.
But just know that
I-
that C you got is kind of because of Beckett. She's kind of breaking you.
it's really because Beckett's annoying me.
I felt like I was indirectly affected by it. We'll move on. That's good.
Don't worry, Denny's. The world's run by C students.
That's right. That's
Wow,
right.
Beckett with the quote.
So, you know how every creature tries to attract whoever they're attracted to, and we all have our crazy rituals. But this might be one of the weirder ones I've heard about. Billy goats urinate on their own faces to become more attractive. This is one of the many strange rituals of, I'm going to throw up a screenshot here so you guys can see kind of like what it looks like.
Yeah, if you've ever been near them, their beard smells so bad.
That's why they call it a goatee.
You can
Oh
see
my
it.
gosh, look
Right-
at that thing.
You
Right
see
now,
that?
Horrifying.
right now, we've got a billy goat. And does that have a billy goat boner?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh,
Oh, I gotta tell you, a billy goat lipstick is worse than a dog's lipstick, Birdney.
that thing was so thin and like a tentacle.
Wait,
It's horrifying.
you thought the billy goat's dick was thin?
Did you see
Yeah,
it? It was
look-
very. Here, I'll re-pull it up.
It
for
was
you.
long, but it was thin.
Thanks.
Look at
thanks for
that.
insecurity,
That's
Birdie.
thin. That thing's thin.
What?
Girls always care about that girth.
Jackie, you're
Hold
gonna
on.
see it.
Hold on, I want to see this. I gotta see this billy goat's dick.
See how
That's thin. You're
Thin.
right. That's a thin dick. You're right. That's
They-
it looks like? It looks like an earthworm.
Birdie's right. That billy goat suffers from TD. It does. That's thin dick.
But he looks pretty hot, right? Because he just pissed in his own face.
That's what we call facial
Oh.
irrigation.
Facial
oh my
irrigation.
gosh, facial irrigation.
Would you piss in your face every day if you knew that it would take off 5 years of your life?
Yes.
I'm saying as a look, not where you would die. You would look.
No.
So you're 35, but you would always look 30. If you're 40, you'd look 35. Do you piss in your face daily to do that?
Yes.
No.
What if it
Wow.
attracts somebody to you?
Hold on. There's a lot to
No.
unpack with the answers here. Beckett definitely said yes.
I'm
Bernie,
in.
no.
I'm in.
No.
Why not, Bernie? And for you, I know that there's a downstream situation going on. It'd probably have to be a cup and dump, I'd imagine.
Because take me or leave me. I'm going to age. If you like, I don't care. Like,
It's not
let
about them,
me.
though. It's about you.
I don't care.
You
If
don't
I
take
look 100, then I'm 100.
you don't take
whatever.
antioxidants?
No, I don't.
No multivitamin?
I take vitamins for my health, but that's not for my age.
Well, antioxidation prevents aging or helps mitigate oxidation of your cells. So it'll help actually.
Technically.
So
That's
I'm
not the reason why.
I'm the school of thought that when my hair goes salt and pepper, I'm gonna go salt and pepper. I'm not gonna like make my hair purple or jet black. That
Exactly.
said, if there's things like not smoking, working out, moisturizing SPF, like things that will help mitigate aging. I'm all for that kind of stuff all day long.
Preventative.
Yeah, but that's for health reasons, not for I want to look 5 years younger.
So Jaybird, in your hypothetical, is it actually like your face is like it's 5 years younger, or it just looks like it is?
You are doing this not for health reasons. This is straight up vanity. It's because you want to look younger. I get all the health shit, but
I'm still in.
Yeah, I think people want to. I think most people. So I want to age as graceful as I can. To your point, Beckett, I'm letting it go gray. I'm letting it just be. That's, I'm not trying to put things in my face. With that said, I'm also not judging that. If that's what you got to do to make yourself feel better, who the fuck am I to say you can't do that? We all got to do what we got to do. But to the point of pissing in your face for your own use, I think we're all trying to prevent the inevitable if we can. If we can, in a way where it's not so intrusive to our body, no?
Yeah, we're all just trying to do the best we can, most of us, and just do your best and forget the rest. That's the way I look at it.
Becky, that's your quota on clever sayings for the show.
Plus, it's warm and it's free. So like, it's not like you have to buy some like ridiculous like serum or get injected with something. Or it's painful or whatever. It's actually probably quite nice.
Am I the only one that thinks Beckett's definitely been involved in some type of piss play?
I was just about to say, I think 1 out of 4 of us here has definitely partook in a golden shower.
Yeah, let's do an impromptu 1 question, raise your hand poll. Raise your hand if you've ever been involved in some kind of urine golden shower play. You guys are going to have to check out the podcast to see the answer on that one.
That's a good one.
Move on.
Well,
Denny,
so
go ahead.
isn't tanning your butthole now considered pretty like healthy? Right?
Tanning your butthole?
That's what they say. Yeah, they say all you need is a little bit of sunlight on there each day.
It gives you what, energy?
It's supposed to be healthy. I forget what it's called, but yeah, no, I think it was popular a few years ago and it just made a resurgence.
Yeah, I think it's the P word. It's the
not perennial.
Yeah, it's like perennial. Yeah.
You need parental advisory if you're going to look into it.
Oh my God.
Pooter?
Pooter.
It's not pooter. Yeah. I will show you that.
Okay, hold on. How am I just hearing about sunshine's great for the butthole and that was 2 years ago? What?
Yeah. Tanning the...
Brittany, what are your thoughts on the sunshine on the butthole?
I feel like that's a lie because I feel like the anus has very sensitive skin, which is why it's covered with hair and such to begin with. So the idea that exposing it to direct sunlight doesn't seem scientifically sound.
I mean, she had a good science butthole answer, Denny's.
I'm just letting you know it's all the rage. I was seeing what you guys thought. We're talking about pissing in faces. I figured it was the next progression.
People do a lot worse things to the butt and enjoy it. So, I don't know.
Beckett,
we didn't say enjoy it. We said
Beckett,
you think you aim it up to the air?
Hold on.
That's how you do it.
Let me set this up for the audience. So
that looks like Beckett in the middle.
What we've got right now is Denny's is showing us 3 gentlemen putting their legs up in the air and their buttholes to the sunshine. And this is a thing. This is what health.com?
Yeah, they look like the Volkswagen symbol.
Yeah, it's the V for victory pose.
What else is on this website?
A lot of healthy stuff.
I think
I'm pretty sure it will say things like if you swallow, it will increase your life by 10 years or something like that too, right?
You gotta pee in your own face and sun your butthole and you're good.
Wait, hold on. Wait, I'm hearing pee in the face, sun in the butthole, swallowing your own what?
I think we're making up a bunch of stuff.
And this is all on health.com?
What a time to be alive.
Oh, yeah.
I like how that guy had an aura around him as his butthole was getting direct sunlight. I thought that was a really good picture.
I'm so busy trying to get my back fat, son. Now I got to get my butthole tanned? What a world we're living in.
They say vanity's pain.
That's all right.
What a world.
All right, Dennis, give us one more of your best factoids. We have clearly fallen off the tracks on this podcast today.
Yeah. Well, here, this is just a fun one for you. A jockey from 1923 managed to finish a race after dying. During the middle of the race, the jockey suffered a heart attack, but his horse was spooked from him hanging, ran and won first place. It was the first time and only time this has ever happened.
Wow.
Birdie, I'll let you go ahead and take it. I mean, the
I
grade.
give it a C. It's okay. It's cool, but it's not anything amazing.
I mean, my
It
gosh.
didn't change my life in any way, shape, or form.
Some of the comments coming in. Wow, Denny's is so sweet. Didn't know Birdie was made of ice. Holy shit, is it 30 degrees where Birdie is living? And then, is Birdie single? That's always the question.
I'm out of order.
Just some areas, you'll be all set.
There you go.
Yeah, well, I think what we kind of took away from the Denny's facts is that people need to start tanning their butthole. Let's get into something else now. We've got a couple emails I'd like to delve into. This one is quite the email. I teased it today on the KVJ. I wish Vicky was here, but we're going to go ahead and try to answer this, and we'll get you maybe even a more elaborate answer next week. Dear Weird Whatever, my 5-year-old daughter keeps seeing what she calls blood people. She says they are slow-moving people who are covered in blood. She says one of the people named Miles wants her to bite other kids at school. When she sees these blood people, nobody else can see them but her. We've been to a doctor. They think it's something psychological. I mentioned goes to my pediatrician, and he laughed in my face. We are at our wits' end. What does this sound like? Right off the bat, it sounds like, first of all, your doctor shouldn't laugh in your face. Even if the doctor thinks you're fucking crazy, there's got to be a thing of bedside manner. People go to the doctors because they're scared, even to the dentist or the foot doctor. People have anxiety. They don't know that world. They want comfort. So first and foremost, your doctor's a dick for laughing in your face because you have a legit issue that no one can give you an answer for. I think what Vicky would probably say is go ahead and get that person's head examined with professional doctors. And once all that comes back to where there's nothing physically wrong with the child, now that's when we would call in the ghost team. That's when we would call in someone like Vicky. But anyone that is seeing visions or that they're thinking that they're going crazy, I do recommend going to a doctor to at least get your head checked. I think that's a safe thing. And we've even talked about that before, have we not, Birdie?
Yeah. I mean, I think because I'd much rather it be something you can cure with science first than something, this person is actually seeing people walking around with blood. Like that, I would try to at least get that out of the way. And then
I mean, imagine being a parent and your child not messing around comes up to you, Beckett, and goes, Dad, I'm seeing bloody people walk around. And you know that this kid's distressed. This kid's not lying. As a dad that does not necessarily believe in blood people, how do you handle that?
And unless we're in England and they say bloody as a precursor adjective, I'm going straight to the doctor. I'm freaked out. Straight to the doctor. And because one of two things are going on. Either my kid needs to see a doctor or there's some crazy stuff going on and Vicky needs to get over here real quick.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, the weird thing is we get so many emails of parents that are talking about their kids seeing things. So either their kids are lying or there's an epidemic of children seeing dead people or spirit or ghosts. And Kevin talked about it on the show today, which I thought was a really good point. He heard someone talking about this, and they said children are more likely to be in tune with the spirit world because they just came from the spirit world. Think about that. They come from the unknown. people have sex and there's a kid there. We get the ABCs of the sperm and the egg and all that, but there is a magic, a mystery to it. No, almost kind of like you come from the unknown, and there's something magical about the unknown. Denny's thoughts, elaborate, please.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense. Just came from the spirit world. It could also be that, I mean, I'm sure people have always seen everything, but I remember I was a kid. I saw the movie Alien, actually, the first one. And you could not convince me that what thing wasn't real. My dad, I remember my parents went through a rough time where I thought that alien from that movie was real. But I was a kid, and clearly it wasn't real. It's just my imagination, especially when you're young like that, you can't really control it yet. So it kind of takes over you. Plus nowadays, I mean, that was when we watched VHSs with our families. Now you can go on the internet on the sly. I'm sure kids are seeing all sorts of even crazier things. They have what was that, Jeff the Killer on the internet? Like they have all these like hoax things that kids check out and get, sucked into. So I wonder if exactly. I wonder if all of that.
I remember when my niece was watching, I know I've told this story before, but I think it is important to retell. She was 20 at the time, watching some website where people were getting murdered, and it was real graphic, legit people dying. And I watched it, I was horrified. And I go, doesn't this fuck with your head? She goes, I'm kind of desensitized to it now. And I think there's a little bit of that goes on as well, Train.
Yeah, desensitization. Think about people who have, adult careers where they're either in super high stress situations or maybe even just in situations where they hear about morbid things a lot. I'm sure that attributes to people having nightmares, people not sleeping well, people being unrestful. It all does play.
People almost kind of losing their positivity sometimes too. I think if you are constantly seeing the worst shit on the planet, of course you're going to think the whole planet.
The whole planet, yeah.
The whole Shannon.
We always talk about, everything always comes back to like news, but news broadcasts what they consider relevant, and you could argue that it's whatever their opinion of is what you need to see. So it'd be the same type of thing. If you're exposed to violence all the time, you're going to tend to think about violence more often than a person that's never exposed to violence.
Well, it's kind of like that quote, never believe all the great things about yourself and never believe all the terrible things about yourself. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. And that's kind of how I think of the world. There's really terrible, shitty things, and there's really great things. And it balances it out. Yes, there's times where you can walk out your house and a horrible thing can happen. There's also many times you leave your house and a great thing can happen. So it's a weird thing where you've got this whole combination of people who have lived their life, nothing bad's happened, and versus other people who've had terrible things happen. You have this mixed kind of attitude about what the world should be. And somewhere in the middle is probably the healthier place to live.
Yeah. Birdney would actually appreciate this. So it's a really proven, it's kind of weird almost. So you guys probably remember in statistics, you have a normal distribution curve, and that's in statistics. It's the bell curve. And things tend to lie outside in the tails of the curve. So a lot of times, like the murders or utopia, they're always on the side. And the mainstream is the center of the distribution. Like if you organize data, that's always, if you have large enough sample size, how it distributes itself. So if you just got caught in that, to Denny's point, that violent sector, whether that's witnessing, participating, whatever, you tend to feel like the world is really like that. But that's your experience of it from what you're watching, what you're experiencing, what you're exposed to. And that's like a big problem. So that's why I think it's always healthy to go out and get different perspectives on religion, politics, music, all of that stuff. So you really want to have, because news is nothing and information is nothing without context. And I think that's what's really important for people to go out.
That's such a great point. I think everyone brings in their own perspective and perception based on what they've been through. If I was a person that was raised in a desert and I lived in a cage and I was only fed salami every Wednesday, and that would be how I would view the world. I would think everybody was like that. And you get out in the world and you see that it's not like that with everybody. That's a shock to the system. That's tough for people to understand. And no wonder we have conflict. I mean, that's a lot of different perspectives, Denny's.
It
Shapes
is.
your brain too, the child psychology. Like, those are very important years of your life where your brain is developing. So if you're seeing things like that, it really like fucks with you. Like if you're experiencing that, it really shapes how you view things based on your brain.
And it's odd that we feel bad for the 7-year-old kid that's watching his mom get beat, and there's terrible things that kid is seeing, and that kid's growing up seeing the most horrific shit, and that kid never gets help, that kid never gets therapy, that kid ends up growing into a 25-year-old murderer. And then all of a sudden it goes from, I feel bad for that kid, I feel bad for that kid, electrocute that motherfucker. And it's just weird as humans, where we do draw the line. It's almost kind of like once you turn 18, you're supposed to automatically know you can't do that. You can't do that. But if you're raised, we all know if you're raised that way, just because you turn 18 doesn't mean there's this automatic switch of all knowing and all peace.
Yeah. Which is why it's always really amazing when you see people who come out of those situations, like they were just born with a certain nature to deal with that stuff. It always amazes me, because most of the time you're a product of your environment, but there's some people that just came out of the womb and they were just like, hell no, I'm not doing this. And
yeah, and I'm not defending bad behavior. It's just more of commentary on
everything.
We get mad if we defend the child, and all of a sudden it's not a child anymore. And nothing's changed other than the fact that that person's just gotten older. And then just because they got older, we go, fuck you, you're evil. It's more of commentary, is all. Not saying one's right or wrong, just something to think about. Let us
It is
know your
weird.
thoughts down in the comment section about that. I'd like to hear everyone's theory. Deep shit, guys. I like it.
Getting really deep today.
Another email. Beckett's going to like this one, kind of freaky.
Nice.
It's titled, I'm making love to a ghost and I don't want to stop. Dear weird whatever, I'm having sex with a ghost, but I don't want to stop. If I continue to do this, how much danger am I really putting myself in? If Vicky was here, she would say you're putting yourself in great danger. You obviously don't want to be banging a ghost because they have other kind of ideas. But Beckett, would you bang a ghost?
Of course. Humans have other ideas often. There's hidden agendas, there's STDs, there's all kinds of bad consequences. What's wrong with a ghost?
Isn't it kind of arrogant on the human level to speak for all ghosts? We always talk about, oh, if a ghost tries to have sex with you, it's a succubus and it's the devil and it's bad and it's evil. Well, that's kind of arrogant to speak for all ghosts. Let's say the human wants to be banged by a ghost. The ghost is lonely, wants a little bit of that Beckett dick. And I'm saying if both parties are into it, can we really speak for, well, my point is humans shouldn't speak for all humans. Should a human speak for all ghosts?
How do you know you're having sex with a ghost?
How?
Like, if you're a guy, is your penis just disappearing into some invisible void that's the ghost's vagina? Like,
I can answer
what keeps
this.
me up at night.
I have a very, very good friend who swears on their friendship that they were visited by a ghost that would hover over them. And they were almost kind of like in a state where you are half sleeping, half awake. So you know you're in the room, but you're kind of under. And it goes above you, it straddles you, and you can't get off. You can't get it off of you.
Thanks for clearing.
So do you just see like? So was this a guy friend?
Yes.
So was his dick just like up and?
Yeah, he said he had a bone piece, a BP.
And then like she just sat on it and
yes.
like.
He said it was erotic and horrifying all at the same time.
I feel like he just had a really intense wet dream.
I don't know, man. Dog. I mean, do girls get nocturnal emissions, Birdie?
We have sex dreams, yeah. And
Sex dreams is different than a nocturnal E. Or
yeah, I mean, you could have sex dreams and like come in your sleep, but I don't. This is 18.
It is. I
Okay,
put it on there.
That's a wet dream, I think, right?
Yeah,
think
that's
if
a
you-
wet dream then.
I think
So
if you come in your sleep, that's a wet dream.
yeah, it's not as common though. It's definitely more of a guy thing, but I have not personally had these dreams, but I've definitely talked to friends and they're like,
I mean,
yeah.
there's our another weird whatever poll. How many women have had a nocturnal emission? Is that more of a dude thing? And that's not being creepy. It's about science, Denny's.
This is
I
the
think
It's all for science.
This is the quickest fan mail has ever been opened by Jaybird.
But I'm legit curious now because Bernie says it's more of a dude thing, and I know I'm gonna get 9 emails from women. It's not a dude thing. I had wet dreams my entire life, so I'm just curious to see. Yeah, I guess I'm asking for what dream emails from guys and girls. Let's see where that gets us with emails, Denny's.
Yeah, send them to mail@kvjshow.com. Kevin's gonna be like, what the hell are these?
I love it. Kevin doesn't know what we talk about, so all of a sudden there's gonna be 30 wet emails. Or
I usually try to grab them. Sometimes he forwards them.
I said wet emails.
That's funny.
What email?
What dream mails?
Go ahead, Beckett. You got something?
Not that I ever doubted it, but I just checked. Pornhub does have ghost porn.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They have everything.
Ow. Did the ghost sign a contract? Like
Yeah, is it consensual?
I
Yeah,
think
come on.
acting guys. But yeah, I am curious if anyone's had a ghost sex encounter. Email us. Let us read your story. We have a lot of good stuff here today. Here's another email. Dear Weird and Whatever, I keep seeing my dead dog walking around my apartment. My dog died tragically in a car accident.
Oh.
That was 1 month ago. Now I swear I see him walking around my place late at night. How often do spirits haunt us? Drew from Wellington. And I know Vicky says she sees animals when she goes on ghost hunts. We had at my old apartment, there was some kind of animal walking around. One of the psychics said they saw something kind of slithering around, Beckett. If you lose an animal, a pet, and you see that pet in spirit form walking around, are you horrified or comforted? Bird me.
comforted.
But it's going like this.
I'm pretty sure I've been with people that sound like that, so it's not too horrifying.
I work with one.
Denny's, right?
No.
I know.
Denny's is the sweetest. Beckett, me and you were in the Dead Dog Club of recent.
Mhm.
Are you comforted seeing your dog that passed walking around in spirit form? Or do you feel like it's lost and hasn't crossed over?
I think I'm pretty comforted. But then I probably would consult with Vicky on it. But even on the human level, the fact that I saw that, because I'm like that skeptic that wants to believe in a way, like that's kind of where my mindset is. So any proof of any afterlife or at all, I think would be welcomed by, I think, a lot of people. I mean, sure, there's a element of unknown. And that would be a little scary, but outside of that, I think it would be really exciting, both for other family members that have passed pets and everything. I think it'd be great.
That's a great point. People always kind of get on me about trying to conjure up spirits and why do I buy dead suits, people who have died in suits or someone that's died in furniture. And my whole thing is I really do want to try to capture something that's not of this plane, because if you can capture that, that means there's something else out there. It's not just this. And to me, even as horrifying as something may be, the fact that there's something else out there makes me feel comfort.
Mhm.
I don't want this to be the last ride. I love being alive. I love being on Earth. I think this is a great place. I love having moments with y'all, laughing. I want to keep this party going. I don't want to go home. I know I got to leave, but I don't want to.
I know. It's like, what's the alternative? Nothingness? You know, like that's just sounds boring, but even worse because you won't even know you exist or don't exist. So it's just nothing.
Yeah, I always, and maybe I'm weird on this, and I'll ask you guys if you guys play this around a lot in your mind. But since I was a kid, I've been obsessed with it. I always think about my last 45 seconds on the planet, me knowing that it's coming, and those thoughts that are going, all right, man, this is it, dude. You had your ride, you're about to die. Everything you were afraid of your whole life is now happening now. Let's go. I hope I'm ready for it. I do the thing. I practice dying while I'm alive through meditation, just because I don't want to be so caught off guard with my own death. I want to be prepared for it because I've been so obsessed with it since I've been a child. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Like,
A lot of heavy shit right there.
Yeah.
So say the question again, because I feel like there's multiple questions.
Well, I just go ahead and comment.
Yeah, I mean, no, I have the same thoughts though.
Yeah,
like
basically, do you guys have those kind of thoughts, or am I more in the abnormal with my thinking on that?
I have the same thoughts, but I also think we're both abnormal.
Do you think we're abnormal?
Yeah, just because I feel like people don't feel comfortable having these conversations. I remember being in middle school where girls were like, "Oh my God, that guy's so cute." And I would be like, "What do you think happens when we die?" And I was just, no one would want to be my friend.
Boy, let's kill Birdie.
So I feel like that was my clue that maybe I was abnormal.
Understood. All right, Denny's, I feel like you're an enlightened cat. Do you have those kind of thoughts, or am I completely fucked like Birdie?
No, I think everybody thinks about death. I personally try to practice not necessarily thinking of it as an impending day to where everything ends, you know? I think of it more as just preparing myself that it is something that is going to happen. No one's exempt from it. And I think from that grand of a thought, it really does bring comfort because everyone has to deal with it. Everyone that you've ever looked up to or anyone that's going to be future born has to eventually confront it. And I think if you think of it, not necessarily as, you know, the day of judgment, the day of reckoning, something so grand like that, and think of it as just, you know, the end of this phase, it really can help, you know, ease the comfort, you know, ease the bludgeonness of it, I guess.
I gotta tell you, Peace Train, that's a great, I love that. I'm wild about that answer. Crazy about it. I think that's a peaceful perspective because you're right. We're all going to go through it. We're all in the same gang. And that's a comforting thing.
It is.
When everybody's in doing something, it's comforting.
It is.
Good stuff, Train. Love that.
Thanks.
Beckett, go ahead. Good luck piggybacking on that wisdom.
Well, I think maybe I'll come at it more from a motivational standpoint. Like I love the quote, "Stop living like you're going to live forever." And what they mean by that is like, you know, you kind of wake up, you do your thing, like it's going to be like 99 years, 100 years, whatever. Like you need to live like people sometimes need that appreciation of how fragile life is. It's like you don't really appreciate that hurricane insurance until you have a Cat 4 knock on your door and you're like, oh yeah, maybe hurricane insurance is really important. And I think you lose someone close to you, you have a close call yourself. You're like, whoa, like this is why life should be celebrated. It's a gift. That's what we call it at the present. That's that cliche quote we use all the time, you know, and
Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's such great perspective. I think a lot of people suffer with depression or just being a human. Being a human is weird, man. We go through ups and downs, and when you are down, it's tough to want to celebrate stuff. But to Beckett's point, life is oh so short. And I think if we are conscious enough to have small celebrations, on a Monday. We all dread Mondays because it's the beginning of the week. But what if you retrained your thinking and go, yeah, I know I have to go to my job. I got to do all that bullshit. But I know when I get home, I'm having a pizza party tonight, or I'm having a video game tournament with my friends for an hour. Small little cozy moments to think about to get the juices going. I think that does help. And it makes life a lot more enjoyable. You taste the sweets of the world.
Yeah, it's like we will never know. So it's like if you have to choose consciously to believe, okay, there's meaning and purpose in this, that this is all not for nothing, that I feel like the perspective is so much more welcoming than like, I'm just going to die and go into the ground and no one, it's nothing. Like it's so, yeah.
Well, for some people, and it's unfortunate because if you're not one of these people, you don't get it. But for some people, being upbeat, being positive, getting everything on track, it's hard work for them. It takes legit conscious work. And sometimes we all get on autopilot. And I think when we get on autopilot in life, that's when some of the problems kind of creep into our life. Life's a fucking game, baby. All right. Go ahead.
The counterpoint to that, though, is I have heard from people who believe there's nothing that sometimes they live more positively because they're living in the moment more than like, oh, if I die, I'm going into the afterlife.
Yeah, no, I love the perspective. I think it's great. If you guys are struggling with any kind of ghost, any spirits, any kind of issue of the paranormal, please send it to us. We'd love to see, hear, talk, discuss. Quick roundup, you are the judge. We've got some crimes here. You guys are the judge. Chat room, let us know how you would sentence these people. I love going through after and reading everyone's comments about the podcast. I get a lot of good information, a lot of material from the people. So please stay interactive with us. This is when we all have to sentence the criminal. All right, first one. Someone pees all over the food at a church picnic, but nobody knows it. People go on to eat the food, making some even sick. What do you sentence the person who pissed all over those church sandwiches? Denny's, you're the judge.
Oh, God. I would give them 5 years in jail.
Damn, Denny's bringing the heat today. You
Well,
can't piss on people's food.
Well, see, you're not doing that accidentally, Like you intentionally went out and pissed all over church people's food. They're out there.
And just so you know, there's children that are eating these sandwiches, women, men of all sorts.
What if the guy ate asparagus? It's going to smell bad.
Double smell bad.
Is this person a billy goat? Were they just trying to mate?
Look attractive.
Yeah.
Birdie bringing it back. I love it.
Just sprinkle it and put it on your neck.
Judge Beckett, Your Honor, you're on mute.
I'm with Denny's in the fact that, I'm big on intent. Fortunately, our legal system does that usually as well in terms of what the intent was, and you don't accidentally do that. Plus, no one likes soggy bread. You're at least getting 3 years. And I also like the retribution where people have to do something that is kind of eye for eye-ish. So they have to eat pea bread for lunch during their sentence.
Wow, that's intense. Birdney.
I give them a year. They have to eat pea bread every day while they're in jail.
Fuck.
And they have to do community service when they get out, supervised with a dog collar around their genitalia if they try pissing on anything.
There's a chance that some prisoners might like a little electricity on the balls, Birdney. We don't want to get these criminals off.
Literally and figuratively, yes, I know.
So, Judge Whopper over here, I say 5 years in jail, but there's a chance you can get out in 2 with great behavior. But as soon as you get out, you are doing the piss circuit. You are giving PSAs about the dangers of pissing on sandwiches. Everyone knows you're the piss guy, so you don't do that again. But and if you're a dick in prison, you're serving all 5 years.
Yeah, so I'll do 3 years, and you can get off for good behavior.
Oh, sweet Denny's. I love it. Big D. That's my guy. His name's Josh Durr, if you don't know. And if you're playing at home for the first time,
Just dox him. That's all.
he's a legend. He's a legend.
Love it.
Okay. We've got someone keeps going around stealing elderly ladies' panties. They're breaking in their house. The crime blotter, the police blotter, the old ladies know this is going on. So there's a fear thing also going on here, Denny's. Not only are they stealing elderly ladies' panties, this person is taking dumps on the floor while the woman is still there. A calling card, if you will. The women are shaking up, Beckett. You're the judge. You got this animal into your courtroom. How much time is this cat serving?
3 years, and he has to clean the assisted living facilities during the days.
All right. 3 years solid. No probation.
Nah, that's just like the other one. That's just rude. Just rude.
Chat room, I want to hear your answers. Birdie, if you don't mind, could you mine some of the chat room comments? I want to see what they would give for each sentence here. Denny's, what are you giving?
All right, I will.
Let's see. So I mean, stealing panties isn't cool. It's pretty
It's your
victim.
grandma, dog.
Grandma panties. I mean, it's rough for everyone involved for
They don't
sure.
deserve that, man. They're just trying to live out their life.
I know who's the victim in that scenario.
Yeah, I know. It's just that's a rough one overall. The pooping on the floors, man, that's rough. You got to do 2 years in some sort of correctional behavioral facility.
Okay.
Clearly, they got issues.
Birdie, do you have a answer?
So they're stealing granny panties and then taking a crap on their floor while they're still home.
And the grandma's there too.
If someone did that to my Grammy, I would kill them.
Yeah,
You're like taken.
yeah.
Like, I think of my grandmother, and I would just be so infuriated. I would hunt them down. I wouldn't even give them a sentence.
To me, if that was my loved one, you broke into my loved one's house, you stole their panties, you shit on their floor. I mean, I'm being gentle when I say you're getting fucking 5 years. And you're doing 5 years, hard time, possibly in the hole, no chance of probation. I look at this as a sex crime.
Yeah, like they're doing it to get off or some
No,
sort
you
of thing.
can't-
I
You
would
can't play nice with others. 5 years in the clink, baby.
life.
What would you do if they got away with it, but then a year later sent you a photo where they're holding a newspaper with the date and they're licking the panties and it's just like a tease?
Damn, Denny.
I would.
They're trying to kick up the scent.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
gosh.
Make a great movie.
Yeah, it'd be a
Would
big
that make
twist.
a great movie? Is that too weird of a movie?
Probably.
A guy breaks in. steals
Megan says 5 years per dump.
5 years per dump.
Damn, it's like gun level.
Well, clearly Nathan's a police officer. He's a flat top cop.
Nick says no kink shaming.
No kink shaming. Well, dog, if the grandma was into it, I'm all for it. If she
Yeah,
wants the guy to take a
consent.
dump on, yeah, she didn't want it, so that's not kink shaming. No. So clearly, that guy has broken into somebody's house and taken it.
He's like, oh god.
What if they took old underwear, but they were replacing it with new underwear? That's their
Like
thing.
a-
They like old underwear, but you get new underwear out of it.
They remove the granny panties and replace it with thongs.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
You're not supposed to be breaking in to old women's houses. It's wrong.
I hear you.
You're a fucking creepo. All right, we've got one more of these. You guys want one more?
Yeah,
Yes.
let's
Yeah.
give it to the
All right,
people.
one more. This person, and again, chat room, let us know. What do you sentence this person to? This person was getting dogs and cats high on crack. They would smoke the crack and then blow it in the animals' faces. They'd watch the animals freak out like an evil person and then laugh hard. I mean, I'm an animal lover. Again, I think you're fucked up. I don't like seeing animals do that shit and then people laughing. if I saw that on video, it'd be really hard for me not to want to put the hammer down on that person. Again, I'm going probably a solid 5 years without probation, man. You can't
I
be,
don't trust
you can't be
people
blowing
like
crack
that.
in dogs' faces.
Like those type of people I would just lock up for life, because I'm like, if you find pleasure in this, then I'm not sure if you're redeemable. You don't belong in
Yeah,
society.
what if that crack blower into the animals' faces, year 2, finds God, legit makes a turn? I'm all for forgiveness. In fact, I feel like we as a culture has gotten to a point where we don't forgive like we should sometimes. I think we're kind of living in a mob mentality where off with their head. Now, there's certain crimes that don't deserve the compassion. Now, let's take those out of the equation. I do think that we should have some compassion on people who do change. No?
Yeah, but I don't know, maybe I'm
Tough.
pessimistic.
It's tough. Compassion and forgiveness is a tough thing for people to do, Beckett.
I'm an animal lover. The Michael Vick thing was really tough for me because I loved Michael Vick, and I think there's a few ingredients that are important in that algorithm. You gotta have remorse, number one. If, to Birdie's point, if they did it and they're like, so, give me whatever, and there's no understanding of what they did, there's no remorse, there's none of that, I think, throw the book at them. If there's remorse and you feel like they've been enlightened and seen some of the hurt, then I tend to be a little bit more sympathetic and appreciate a comeback more than anyone.
Yeah, forgiveness is a weird thing to talk about because every time we talk about it, someone will always give you the most extreme example compared to the less extreme example. You know what I mean? One will be, my brother stole money, $50 from me when he was high. And then on the other end is, someone murdered and raped my loved one. And that's tough, man. I understand.
It is.
I understand how you can't forgive somebody who does that. But I also can understand somebody who does it too. I think it's a person that some people can't forgive. I think they feel like they're giving up if they do, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that.
Almost like they're letting their loved one down if they forgive.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
can imagine that. Like if someone raped and killed you, Bird, I don't think you would be happy if I was like, it's okay, you did that, I forgive you. Like to the murderer, I would be like,
I visited him in prison. You know what? He's not a bad guy. We talked about egg salad. Yeah. Denny's and Beck would be like, what the fuck, Bird? And he killed and raped Bird. That's not
exactly.
Cool. Yeah. No, I
How
get
would
it,
you
man.
feel would you roll in your grave? Like, would you be pissed?
Well, I am not going to get buried. I'm going to get burned and then buried in a tree. And yet I will absolutely harbor grudges in the afterlife. So don't fuck this up.
I will haunt you.
I will haunt Beckett all day long. And I'm one of those kind of people that don't really give up on something. If I have the will of mind, it'll be bad for you, Beckett.
It'll be fun.
One more thing, and then we'll end the podcast. I've had great fun with everybody. I do want to say this was something we talked about last week, gut feelings, intuition. We got so much feedback on this where people are saying they did not do something because of a gut feeling or they didn't get on a plane. This one was a heavy one, but I do want to read it because we got a lot of naysayers. And this person's defending the position of gut feelings being real. Dear Weird and Whatever, thank you for talking about gut feelings and intuition the last couple of weeks. I told my daughter she could not go to a Guns N' Roses concert back in 1990. I knew something bad was going to happen, so I refused to let her go. I honestly felt like my daughter, if she went to this concert, she would not come back alive. My daughter ended up sneaking out without me knowing and went to the concert anyway. On the way to the Guns N' Roses concert, she got into a wreck with her friends, and 3 of the 4 people died in the car, including my daughter. Anybody who tells you gut feelings aren't real can go to hell. They are real, and I knew my daughter was going to die. Thank you for listening to my story. It actually brought great comfort to me, Sarah. I mean, someone that goes through that was so adamant about don't go in the car. Something bad's going to happen. Don't go in the car. And then they die. I don't know, man. There might be something to it, Birdie.
I 100% agree with gut feelings. I can't even think of a time my gut was ever wrong. Like, if anything, I was trying to prove my gut wrong. And then I was like, I should listen to my gut. Like,
well, I mean, animals have it with instinct. Why wouldn't humans?
Yeah.
There's actually research behind this. Simon Sinek, famous TED Talk guy, he's done a lot of stuff on it. I won't even attempt to try to convey what he did because it's absolutely mind-blowing and really eloquent. But I think, depending on the source, if it's the mom who cried wolf and she's always saying, oh, you can't go here, you can't go there, then, it'd be diluted. But if you have a friend or a parent that's unusual, I think I would tend to listen a little bit closer, if that makes sense.
I know we're running a little late on time, but next week I would like to delve into a little bit more of the gut feeling, the intuition versus a paranoid person. To Beckett's point, I know people that they're always so vocal about their gut feeling and my intuition, but I've seen and witnessed that person and they're a maniac and they're a hot mess and their reality is not reality. And they're claiming and hiding behind this instinct and gut feeling to almost kind of make up for their own shortcomings. So I think there is a fine line of gut feeling versus I'm making excuses for why shit's going wrong. So I'd like to delve into that. We've been going for a little over an hour. Great fun with the crew. We're wishing Vicky a very speedy recovery after getting the vaccination. Denny, anything you would like to pigtail at the end of this thing?
My brother just found a box of Pogs. Do you guys remember those things? I think he's gonna send me some. Yeah, he's gonna send me like a handful of them. I'm pretty pumped.
That is cool.
It's so random. He found them in a shoebox.
It's great, man.
That's awesome.
Final thoughts.
Just live every day like it's your last, like we're saying, and you got to plan like it's going to be for a long time. But although it's cliche, enjoy life, and never know when it can end, and not just for you, for your loved ones, anyone. So just appreciate it.
Beckett giving that Braveheart speech. Can you give me a freedom real quick? Freedom! Yes, I love it. And the lovely Birdney, final thoughts on today's podcast? Anything you want to add on? Anything that people said of note?
I had people ask me what this sign was. Finn also says hi, but my sign says Charlie's mom has got it going on, and you can guess what that means because I like a little bit of mystery.
I have no idea what the fuck that means. I love it. End it on a mystery and confusion. Guys, thank you for listening to the Weird Whatever podcast. If you are a weirdo and you are what we call a diehard, which we do have some of those out there, if you see anything we post, please share, comment, like, even if you hate us. We just want the interaction because our bosses are watching. Thank you, guys. We love you all. And
Bigfoot.